So some key phrases I have on the front are safe, exciting learning environment, student empowerment, student-centered classroom. In the middle, I talk about how I'm kind of pulled between high and low control because I see the benefits of both. So I kind of land at a low-medium control, as you see right here. I agree with William Glasser and Barbara Colarasso about their loving, warm environments, class environments, and then their natural logical consequences. The teacher role, I believe teachers need to be caring and accepting of all students, should guide their students, but they should ultimately maintain authority in the classroom. They should be the authority. They should have control of their class. Students' role, free choice, a lot of respect and responsibility towards them, but with that, with the freedom that they get, I hold them to a kind of a higher level of self-discipline and respect, and they need to be able to respect the teacher and respect themselves in order to earn all this free choice and such. So some of the key phrases I had were a safe, exciting learning environment, united classroom, students and teachers working jointly, and then creativity and productivity. Thought those are most important. And I'll quickly read my statement. I believe in a classroom based on support and belonging. Teachers create a trusting environment so students feel a sense of ownership. Kind of sums up my whole philosophy. Democratic classroom, I definitely believe in democratic classroom. As I said, I believe in students and teachers working jointly. For civility, I think kind of civility and student leadership. I believe teachers need to teach more than just math and science. They need to teach students how to be people, productive people in society. Civility, we need to teach them how to be good citizens, nice, kind, caring people. For leadership, we need to teach students communication skills and speaking skills, and not only just representations and stuff, but through group work and just kind of in general classroom environment, being able to discuss and communicate well. For class jobs, I like this quote by Beth Lewis. She says, if we want to teach children to be responsible, we have to trust them with responsibilities. Like I said, I kind of hold my students to a higher level. I give them a lot of freedom, but I expect a lot from them. I expect them to be responsible. So I need to entrust them with responsibilities like classroom jobs. It makes them accountable and kind of appreciative of their classroom. Student voice, I think teachers have a huge role in student voice, to defend student voice, and to be an advocate for students. Students come to the table with a lot of knowledge already, and we need to encourage that, not ignore it. Student choice, I think teachers can do this a lot, like in a science unit, if you're learning about animals, giving them options of they can choose what animal they study or whatever. I think this makes them a lot more interested in the subject. And then self-governing behaviors, this ties a lot with how students kind of create rules, or teachers and students create rules jointly. In that way, students are aware, like I said, aware of the rules and consequences. As I said before, I expect a lot of my students, and so like self-governing behaviors, so I need to help them by letting them know the rules and such. On to motivation. I believe in a blend of extrinsic and intrinsic. A lot of people think extrinsic isn't the right way to go, but I think it's actually very powerful, especially with young students. It helps them have clear guidelines to follow to get the reward, and helps them develop intrinsic motivation, helps them lead to that. If students don't want to learn the material, it helps them to be motivated if they have some sort of reward, like classroom money, or earning points towards a pizza party or some bigger reward. For intrinsic motivation, I believe my students are independent thinkers, and I want to help foster their love of learning. Ways I could do this are allowing student choice, helping students feel motivated to succeed, and then just kind of modeling intrinsic motivation, modeling like I would be excited about learning and excited about thinking, so my students would kind of follow suit and be motivated to learn and to think. On to rules and procedures. I have a couple quick rules, like respect yourself and others, come prepared, make an effort, and follow directions the first time. I kind of think these are more general, so a lot of situations could fall under them. For establishing and developing rules, we do this together as a classroom, teachers and students, like I talked about before. Positive consequences like praise, tickets or money, extra recess time, and then negative consequences like the loss of privileges, calling home principal if necessary, and so on. I think I would stick to mainly loss of privileges. I think that kind of aligns with my philosophy more, but if needed, then the call home or principal. preventions, I think positive rapport is super key with your classroom. Just knowing your students and loving them and accepting them no matter what, even if they're a little annoying or whatever, just loving them and accepting them, because I think students really need that. And just being positive and encouraging towards them, maintaining student voice and dignity and listening to them, just kind of being there for them, because you may be their only support. Maybe they don't come from a great home or something, just knowing that at least their teacher loves them. A couple of procedures I listed were lining up, cleaning up, training, homework, just in general, kind of having students model it, or having the teacher show them where to go or show them what to do, just being really explicit. I kind of want to work with first graders or kindergartners, the younger grades, so I definitely have to be explicit in labeling everything and showing them where things are, and, reminding them to be quiet while lining up by putting a finger to my mouth, while they were lining up or while they're doing whatever. Just being real specific. When it comes to interventions, let's read them quickly. For the student is distracted by object number 1, I would use the situational kind of mild nonverbal. It's kind of a blend by just removing it from their hands, just walking over quickly and removing the distracting object. If they're bored or unengaged, I would boost student interest by relating it to them, relating the topic. Student has a hard time getting ready to work, and I kind of figured this was due to insufficient notice, and so I'd provide cues and let them have a little schedule by their desk of the general day, the general schedule, so they could kind of keep track on their own. For student tattling, mild nonverbal, I would talk to them about minding their own business, unless it's emergent. Students talking during instruction, I would use proximity, mild nonverbal. Student blurts out answers during instruction, I would talk to the students about giving other students an opportunity to learn. If they're always blurring out the answers, no one has a chance to think, so I'd talk to them about that. Student is disrupting another student during instruction. I took disrupting to mean more like bothering or kind of picking on, like the other student doesn't appreciate it. So I express sadness to them and discuss how this makes the other student sad as well. This is more geared towards a lower grade. Student is non-compliant. This would be a moderate response. They would receive a loss of privilege for this, kind of a natural consequence. They would lose recess time or free time so that they could finish the work that they refused to do. Student pushes another in line. This was a moderate response. I would again express disappointment in the student and ask what he or she should have done instead. If they pushed a student in line, I'm sure they just wanted to be first in line, so what should they have done instead? It matters more to respect your fellow students than to be first in line. Then bullying, I just hope to have kind of a safe environment in my classroom, a loving, accepting, safe environment to help prevent this. And then just being so that kids feel open to talk to me about bullying, just having an open line of respect to communication in the class. And then I would talk to both the bully and victim to resolve the real issue, see what's behind this, what the truth is, what's going on, and figure that all out. For my classroom map, if I can flip to it, it's right here. It's kind of sideways. Here we go. So I have the door right here. I have chairs and desks aligned and even tilted so that they can definitely see the large whiteboard right here. Sorry, you can't even see this. So that they can see the large whiteboard that's right here. These are the desks that's kind of tilted towards it. I have my centers that are kind of outlining. This is like the reading center with bean bags. This is math and science. Here's art right next to the sink so that, it's kind of messy. They can clean up quick. And then student supplies are right here. I figured that'd be nice to be next to art, so they could have the supplies for art. Here are the computers kind of next to the door. This is kind of a noisier section, and that's okay because computers, even if it's supposed to be quiet, they'll have headphones for that. Here are all their cubbies so that they can go straight from the door to their cubbies and then to their desk. This is high traffic zone, so it's a lot of free space, a lot of emptiness here. Here is kind of the quieter zone, with the reading, the math, the science kind of blocked off by bookshelves so it can have kind of more personal, quiet space. Here's our group carpet for class time that we can get together in the mornings or whatever for the student meetings. I had a little audio center here for them to listen to audio, and then here's my desk right here. So if I'm sitting at my desk, I could see everything. Here's my writing. If I'm working right here, I'd sit right here in the writing center and work with kids more one-on-one so that I would still be able to see. If we're in centers, if I'm sitting here, I would still be able to see all the centers in the whole class with that. So there's that.